Taylor, I want to thank you so much. Right now, I'm actually at an event right now, but I wanted to step to the side and talk straight to you guys because you guys are my main priority, and I thank you so much. How many of you guys have been hopping on my sessions, hopping on Patrick's sessions? We've been doing our best to make sure that we show you exactly how to profit in the market in 4 steps. Today's session is actually going to be run by Patrick today, so you're going to get the GOAT, Patrick. He's going to be breaking down everything, all the new stuff, just for you guys. But let me talk to you guys real quick. So I need you to put some ones in the chats if you guys are listening to me. Is the audio good or anything? Let me know in the chats. There we go. All right. It didn't matter how many people hopped on this call right now. We were going to be here for you guys. Why? Because we remember where we started from. We are here for the people. This is DeLorean Nation. If you don't know what DeLorean Nation is, that's who we are. All right. So I hope you guys are ready to become great traders. I hope you're ready to become consistent traders because that's what we strive for all the time. So this is what I want you to do, guys. All right. I want you to sit back, relax, take some notes. The guy I'm about to bring up right now, let me tell you the story real quick. All right. He was my first student. I actually never wanted to be a teacher. Never wanted to be a teacher. He's the guy that pushed me to be a teacher. Why? Because he said, yo, you teach in ways that most people don't teach. You explain stuff in ways that most people don't explain. Why throw that energy? Why throw that gift away? I started with 5 people, then it went to 20, then it went to thousands, and all of a sudden now I'm in front of you guys. I mean, even the class today had over 1,100 people on a live, everybody listening to the tone of my voice. This is powerful stuff, guys. If you take this stuff serious, just like Patrick did, Patrick changed his whole life completely. Whole life completely. When I first met him, he was 17, selling shoes online. Now, look where he is right now. And I can't even take 100% of that. It's what he did with the information. I'm here to give you guys information that will 100% change your life completely. Don't believe me? Test me out. Try me out. Try it for 3 months and watch what happens. Watch what happens. What type of beast you're going to be in the markets if you take the information. Before DeLorean got here, guys, one of the biggest issues, in the chats, let me know, is entry. How many of you guys would love to get a more precise entry? How many of you guys would like to know when to exit in your entry if things go wrong? I wanted to figure out an easier way to get into the market without hesitation. The exact same way over and over and over, whether you win or lose. Because if you understand, oh, if I take 10 trades and I win 7 out of those 10 or 6 out of those 10, oh my God, as long as it's the same thing, you create real stats. And with real stats, you're able to, of course, become better. You're able to work on certain things. So I wanted to figure out a way to get into the market that is already moving without feeling like you're chasing. And 4 years ago, we invented the DeLorean. Now, the DeLorean, it wasn't actually named a DeLorean. It was named a Matrix because when people really understood what it really was like taking the red pill. Some of you guys are going to play the 4 steps. It's going to be great, cool. Some of you guys are going to take it to the next level and understand what it is. And then that's when you will literally sit there and cry. It's like that serious. That's why I have my students do homework so they can reach that aha moment. It's literally freedom. All right. All the biggest moves in the whole industry happen from this same move. Go back test it. Once you learn it, go back test all the biggest moves. The housing crash back in 07, DeLoreans. Bitcoin to 20,000, DeLoreans. Oh, it dropped, DeLoreans. What about the market crash that happened in March? Oh, DeLoreans in January. We called it in January. Guys, it's the same move over and over and over. My job is to get your eyes accustomed to it, guys. This guy that's coming up and going to explain everything is one of my best friends. And he explains this thing so well because he's actually the guy who created the easier version for you guys to understand it. Because back in the day, remember this, Patrick? I used to have to teach you guys a month to learn what it is. And he's about to show you in one class, one time right now, what took me a month to explain. He's gonna do it in 4 steps in front of you right now. I need you guys to give it up right now in the chats right now for Patrick Kinney right now. I want you literally to light the chats up right now. I want this room to feel like thousands of people right now for Patrick Kinney, the freaking GOAT. We are the 1, 2, 3 punch when Abel's in here as well too. We are gonna give you the most value period and consistently. Patrick, are you on the line, bro? Take it away, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I'm here. Taylor, thanks for putting this together. We really appreciate it. Looks like we're good to go. I'm going to share my screen in a minute just so I can get an idea. How many of you guys, by show of yeses, have traded with DeLorean before, at least once up to this point, at this point in time? Just by show of yeses. And then by show of no's, how many of you guys have never utilized the DeLorean software? Okay, I got a little bit of a mix of both. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to thumb through some stuff tonight, guys. My goal is to really just get you guys on the page that, you know, Taylor's on and Dom's on and whoever else is in here that's traded is on, just the same page as us on how we trade this. It's fairly simple, so just give me about the next 45 minutes of your time, and then from there we'll just see in the morning on the session. So with that said, give me just 1 sec to pop everything up, and then we'll get this show on the road. And by the way, if everybody could just mute themselves, that'd be great. All right. Get a thumbs up out of you, Taylor, when you see my screen. Perfect. All right. All right, guys. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? All right. Already asked who's traded it. So as he said, you know, Tyrone's my mentor. He really is. And that guy right there that you just heard from, he's always super busy. And just to get him on a call is something special, to say the least. So we appreciate him for getting on the call. And you know, he had texted me and said he wanted me to train up Taylor's squad tonight. And I said, for sure. I'm trying to train up anybody that needs it. And that's my job. And my job is to make sure people see the market in a simpler way. My whole slogan, my whole mantra, everything about the way I teach, the way I trade. For those of you guys that trade with me live, it's about simplicity, simple instructions, simple execution, simple outcome. And so I'm 24 years old. As he said, I met him when I'm 17. Been trading for 6 years. I'm currently in Montana right now, but I usually am in Arizona. I'll be going back to Arizona here and there, back and forth, obviously, as time progresses, weather progresses, as COVID progresses. So I'm back and forth between 2 houses. But with that said, tonight, our entire job is DeLorean and learning how to use it, and talking about how we utilize it in this software. So first things first, guys, if you don't know what the term DeLorean is, it's actually a software. It's a computer algorithm. And what it does is it scans multiple time frames, actually 5 different time frames at any given time, across 30 different currency pairs. So across 30 different currency pairs and 5 different time frames, every single minute, this is scanning 150 different unique opportunities in the market, trying to figure out whether we should buy, sell, or do neither. And so, as Tyrone said, we created this thing about 4 years ago, and it came to my mind when Tyrone taught me this strategy, and I was missing the setups. I don't know how many of you guys can relate with this, but the reason I was missing the setups is I wasn't on the charts because I was busy. I had a job. I was going to school to get my bachelor's degree, and I knew how to trade, but I didn't know how to get a setup because I was missing it because I was so busy. And that's where the idea of creating a software came from. I wanted to get an alert directly to this guy. Everybody's got one, a cell phone, that said, hey, you should look to buy this, or hey, you should look to sell this. And that's when we created the original algorithm, which is called the Matrix. And that's what's led us to where we are today, which is now this mega software, internet-based software called the DeLorean. So this is what it looks like, just as a brief background. And the good news about it is that it's all set up. So today, just so you know, as a precursor, when I talk about arrows, it's going to be a lot about arrows today. You might say, well, how do I get that arrow? It's already all done in the algorithm. The algorithm is going to set up the lines for you. It's going to set up the arrows for you. It's going to do all the lifting for you. All you have to do is a simple 4-step process. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is a simple 4-step process. And so understand that I did build this for myself, as I said, and I built it with one thing in mind. And I'm sure all of you guys, by what I just mentioned just 3 minutes ago, can guess what that was. And that one thing is what? It's simplicity. And so tonight's mantra is simple. I do not want to confuse you. I'm not going to use big words. And I'm just going to try my best to make sure every single person, without a doubt, understands where we are at with the DeLorean and how we utilize this, whether you've learned how to trade prior or not. So as I said, we're going to talk a lot about arrows tonight, and there's really 2 arrows you have to pay attention to. When you see a blue arrow, that means you're looking to buy the market. So if you buy a stock at $10 and it goes to $20, you make money. When you see a red arrow, it means sell. Now that doesn't mean get out of the market. That means short the market. So that means you could sell a stock, aka short a stock, at $20, and if it goes down to 10 and then you exit, you make money. So our goal is to first understand the blue arrow means buy, and we have to find that. and the red arrow means sell. So when in a minute, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to get my chats open here in a second. But in a minute, I'm going to ask you guys a question when you see some charts. I'm going to say, is this a buy or is this a sell? How you know that is by simply looking at the arrow. Is it a blue arrow or a red arrow? So with that said, let's get going into the 4-step process. This is going to be the first piece of information I'm going to ask you guys to write notes on. And we have this slogan, BCLS trade, BCLS trade. And every step, bigger, cut, location, space, then trade. This all has a meaning behind it. And this entire webinar today is explaining the meaning behind each of these boxes. But in short, it stands for bigger, cut, location, space, and trade. So as a quick note before we begin, okay, before we begin studying this and learning how to use it, because that's the only way I can teach you is by actually doing it, we're going to focus on the 2 candles to the left of each arrow. So in a minute, when you guys get an arrow, you're going to focus on the candles to the left of the arrows, okay? So you guys can't see my chat, can you? I'm just trying to keep the chat open so I can you guys see my chat? Or does the chat screen stay hidden? All right, perfect. So this is our first cheat sheet. Okay, this is for short trades, sell signals. Notice top left corner on the 15-minute, 30-minute, and the 1-hour time frames. Now, the first big thing you want to notice is this question up here. Is it between 2 and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? When you are trading short term, you need to ask yourself when you get an alert on a short-term time frame, is it between 2 and 10 a.m.? If the answer is yes, then that leads you to your first step. If the answer is no, don't even bother going through the 4 steps. You're not going to take a trade. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to talk about DeLorean 2.0, so we'll get to that in a little bit, but you don't have to worry about this too much. But we won't have to worry about alerts even coming through outside of that window as of the new algorithm anyway. Okay, so just take a picture of this screen really quick. As your notes, there's a lot of words on it. Just take a picture. It's probably going to save you a tremendous amount of time. So I'll give you about 5 seconds to take a quick pic. All right, so on the flip side of this, you're going to be left with buy signals, blue arrows, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour again. The same questions go. Is it between 2 and 10 a.m. Eastern? Again, take a picture. I just need you to get the information before we actually implement it. So just take a quick picture. These are your 4 steps. Give me a 1 when you guys are with me so far. Okay, perfect. All right, and then we also have high time frames. As we said, it does scan the 4-hour and the daily. Notice a few of the wording is going to be a little bit different, such as break even at plus 25 pips and those sort of things. But what does change big time is at 2 to 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you ever get an alert, which we'll talk about it, on a 4-hour or daily, it doesn't matter when that alert is sent. It doesn't matter when you get it or when you take it. You are good to go. Meaning if it's at 4 p.m. Eastern, you're good to go. It doesn't matter. That 2 to 10 a.m. window is thrown out the window. And lastly, we have our cells. Again, you're good to go. 2 to 10 a.m. is thrown out. Just take a quick picture. And if you guys could all say the word done or something of that nature when you guys get all the pictures, I'm going to run through them one more time. Okay, first one, 5 seconds. Second one. Third one. And fourth one. Good to go, guys? Just let me know if anybody missed anything. I don't want to leave you hanging. Are we all good to go? I only saw 1 check mark. We all good? Okay, Tylo's good. All right, perfect. All right, so we're gonna hit the charts and we're gonna start talking about this, and then a little bit we're gonna go to live action as well. So this is all hindsight, and then we're gonna go to some real world, real-time examples from earlier today. So with that said, first things first, I'm gonna have you guys start to get interactive. It's been a fairly quiet group so far, so I'm gonna ask you guys to get on those chats really quick because I need you guys to answer these questions in order for this to really set home. are we looking to buy or are we looking to sell? That's going to be your first question I'm going to ask you right now. So are we looking to buy or looking to sell based off what you see on the chart right now? Yeah, looking to sell. And for those of you guys that are still trying to get in the groove of things, how are we doing this? All we're doing, the first thing we're doing is looking at where's the red arrow? Is it red or is it blue? Notice it's a red arrow forcing itself down. We're only looking to sell, which means we're going to go to our sell cheat sheet. And all of these examples I'm about to show you are on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour time frame. So it's all between 2 and 10 a.m. following these 15-minute protocols. So let's read the first question together. It says, look at the two candles to the left of the arrow. Is the red candle bigger than the blue? Okay, that's your first question. So we are looking at not the red candle, or not the red arrow, but these two, 1, 2. These two bigger ones, we're looking at those. Is the red candle bigger than the blue? Answer me that now, yes or no. Yes or no. Yes. So the moment you get a yes, you move on to the next step. If you ever get a no, you stop and you just look for a new trade. So we get a yes and we go to step 2. Does the red line cut through both candle bodies? So remember, a candle body is not this thin little thing we call a wick. It's those big chunky things. That's how I refer to them, these big chunky things. So does the red line cut through both of these candle bodies? Does the red line cut through both of them? Yes, it does. So then we move on to step 3. Now, step 3 is the only time I'm going to ask you guys to really get your note pens and papers out, because I have some pointers and some tips with step number 3 that'll help your success. Step number 3 reads, is the gray, aqua, or blue line closely above the two candles? Okay, so there's 2 things I want you to note. When that says closely above, closely is defined in step 3 as less than 10 pips. So write that down. In step 3, you need them to be less than 10 pips above on sell signals and less than 10 pips below on buy signals. We'll look at buy signals in a little while. Okay, second thing you want to add is the question should read this to be highest level of success. You should read the statement like this. Is the gray, aqua, or blue line closely above the two candles, or, write this down, or cutting through them? So you're adding the statement or cutting through them. What that does for us is allows us to also look, are any of these lines cutting through the two candle bodies? Because that's okay as well. It doesn't just have to be above or less than 10 pips. It can also cut through. So now we're going to go to step 3 and read that statement out loud in our heads. Okay, step 3 says, is the gray, the aqua, or the blue line closely above, which is less than 10 pips, or cutting through the two? So I want you guys to answer me that in the chat right now, yes or no. Yes or no. And what color? What color's cutting through? If you answered yes. Good job, Darius. Good job, Chris. Yeah, the aqua. Okay, this is the aqua. That's that blue one I'm referring to. That's the gray. So we get yes on question 1, yes on question 2, yes on question 3. That leads us to question number 4. Did you make sure the gray, aqua, or blue lines are not closely below? Now, the only thing to add on this part is this needs to be greater than 10 pips. So step number 3 is less than 10 pips. Step number 4 is greater than 10 pips. So when we look at this, and actually I can annotate this real quick. Okay, here's the arrow right here. Which is the closest line below us? What color below that arrow? What color below the arrow is the closest? Dark blue, good job. This one. So we need to make sure we have at least 10 pips room between that arrow and that line that's below us, or of course if we're buying above us. So we'll look at the price. The price right there, everybody on the right side, it might be small if you're on a phone, it says 1.829. So the blue is sitting at 1.829. Now the price of the arrow is sitting at 1.832. Oop, didn't mean to do that. 1.832. Okay, 1.832. How many of you guys by show of nose don't know how to count pips? Okay, if you don't know how to count pips, I'm about to put you on really quick manually how to do it without any tools. So right now, this blue line says 1 point. If you're reading on the right side, this is the number I'm reading right there. I'm circling on the right side. And this is the number, if I could not get the menu to pop out, that's the number I'm reading on the right side of the arrow. So it says 1.83200, and this one says 1.82900. Does everybody see that by a show of ones? All we do is cross out the last number, which is the 0. So let's cross that out, and circle the next 3. 320 is the circled on the top, 290 is the circled on the bottom. What is 320 minus 290? Please mute your mic, please. What is 320 minus 290, guys? I'm not a mathematician, but I think you guys can get that. 30. Okay, I'm going to clear everything here. That stands for a 30 pip separation. You just learned how to count pips in like 2 seconds. So we have 30 pips. How many pips do we need to be valid? We need at least 10. We need at least 10. We have 30. So we get a yes, 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 and yes. What do we do after we get 4 yeses? Boom. Take the trade. Well done. All right, let's do another one. Let's keep practicing this just to get you guys in the groove. I know a lot of you guys are new. Buy or sell? You guys should be getting faster already. Yeah, buy. So let's go to our buy cheat sheet. Okay, look at the 2 candles to the left of the arrow. Is the blue candle bigger than the red? I want everybody to start answering these in the comments. Let's flood the chat. Is the blue bigger than the red? The blue candle bigger than the red? The 2 candles left of the arrow. So we're looking at these 2 right here. Sure is. Sure is. So let's go to step number 2. Step number 2 says, does the red line cut through both candle bodies? Does the red line cut through both candle bodies? Yes or no? No, it does not. Okay, now some people said yes. Let's look at it. Look at it closely. The red line definitely cuts through the blue, but it only just nicks the red. It needs to come in one side and out the other on both. Is that clear? For anybody that answered yes, is that clear? This is a no situation. So if the DeLorean were to call this, you get a no. What happens when you get a no? No trade. For sake of learning tonight, we're going to continue and go through all 4 steps on each of these just for sake of seeing it. So the third question, I'm going to leave that little red squiggly thing there just because it circles our candles easily. But it says, is the gray, aqua, or blue line closely below the 2 candles? Remember, or cutting through them. Remember that? So answer me that. Is the gray, aqua, or blue line closely below the 2 candles or cutting through them? No, there's nothing below us. I mean, literally nothing. And there's nothing cutting through. Pretty easy answer. You get 2 no's. That leads us to step number 3. Or I'm sorry, step number 4. Did you make sure the gray, aqua, or blue lines are not closely above? Now, we already got 1 no, so you guys wouldn't be taking this. But I'm showing you multiple reasons to not enter this trade. So step 4, does it pass, yes or no? Well, all you have to do is look at it and say, okay, the arrow's here at 0.7513, and the aqua's up here at 0.7515. I can write that down, 0.75150, 0.75130. Get rid of the zeros. Circle the next 3. 515 minus 513 equals 2. This is a really tight range. It's only 2 pips. You need at least 10. There are 3 reasons for a no on this example. 3 reasons. Okay. Let's do it again. Are we looking to buy or sell? You guys are starting to get quicker. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a step back. There's a lot of people that hadn't traded DeLorean yet. So as I take a step back, I want you guys to think all 4 steps in one. So instead of thinking 1 step at a time, take all 4 steps. Would you take this position? Yes or no? And answer your final answer in the comments based off step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Okay, got a few yeses here. Okay, good job. So we're buzzing through it now, and I'll start going a little bit faster. You guys are quick learners in this group here. So let's read them real quick. Let's just go fast. 2 candles to the left of the arrow. Is the blue bigger than the red? Well, yeah, blue's way bigger than red. Step 2, does a red line cut through both candle bodies? Sure does.
Oh, shit.
Cuts right through. Can we mute mics, please? Step 3, is the gray, aqua, or blue line closely below the 2 candles or cutting through them? Remember the or cutting through them. What color cuts through? Yeah, aqua. Did you make sure the gray, aqua, or blue line are not closely above? Well, how many pips above are they? Or is that gray line? Blue arrows here. We're at about 67.35. Gray's here at about 67.50 or 67.47. We'll say 67.47 for sake of accuracy. Get rid of the zeros. Circle the next 3. 747 minus 735 is what? 12 pips. Okay. All right. You guys are picking up on this fast. Taylor, I'm impressed with your squad here. All right, let's keep moving on. Are we looking to buy or sell? Looking to buy or sell. You guys got that unlocked. Now I'm going to ask you guys a question again. All 4 steps. Don't let me do any sort of teaching. Do we take this? Yes or no? Gosh, I couldn't even get the statement out. Guys, I've been doing this presentation for quite some time. I don't think there's any group that's picked this up as fast as your group. This is incredible. Yeah, I mean, the answer is no. Yeah, it'll come just like this. This is exactly how it comes. We're going to go right over to DeLorean right after this slide, actually. We're going to go literally to the actual software. But this is exactly how it'll print for you on screen. Okay, no. Give me some reasons. Why aren't we entering this trade? I mean, it's cool that y'all said no, but why? And there's actually 3 steps. Give me the 3 steps. There's 3 of them. There's 3 reasons not to enter this trade, not just 1. But what 3 steps don't pass? What 3 numbers? Step what, and step what? Which steps? Bree says 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 2, 3, 4. Okay, we look at step 1. The first question is, all right, look at the 2 candles to the left of the red line. Is the red bigger than the blue? Well, for sure, it is. But step 2, does a red line cut through both? Doesn't even touch it. Step 3, is the gray, aqua, blue line closely above? Well, that's where some people might need a little extra training here. Closely above is not from the red arrow, it's from the 2 candles on step 3. So we're at 107.75. Look where the gray is, 107.90. How many pips is the difference there? I'm not even going to write it down anymore. You guys are starting to figure out how to count pips now too. Yeah, that's a 15 pip gap. You get rid of the 0, you got 790 minus 775, you got a 15 pip gap. Okay. Now, I actually just literally, I'm sitting in my studio right now. I just shot a YouTube video on this. It'll be live in the next 2 weeks on how to make your DeLorean trade setups better. And this is exactly what we talked about. The farther away you are from these colors, the worse off you are. The setups that happen near these lines are the ones you're looking for. The times you get arrows near those lines are the times that you're going to get explosive moves. We saw that today with New Zealand dollar. We saw that today with Euro CAD. We saw that today with Aussie yen, Tyrone's position. Explosive moves come out of there on both sides. Okay, those are the three steps, or I'm sorry, the three reasons why we haven't entered the trade. And if we actually go to step 4, I didn't actually cover that. Did you make sure the gray, aqua, or blue line are not closely below? Look at the arrow. 107.65, 107.60 on the blue. That's a 5 pip gap. How many pips do we need? Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you guys some notes in a notebook real quick. Your first big note to write down is the 3 candle rule. Write that down in bold. Okay, 3 candle rule. This is big stuff right here. What this means, write this down, is if you are not in profit within 3 candles of your entry, get out. So keep in mind, when you get an alert via DeLorean, this is when the alert comes in, right there on the arrow. That candle, this is a 15-minute time frame, is the only candle you can enter. You can't enter on this. You can't enter on this. You must enter on the same candle as the arrow. And so when I talk about this on a 15-minute time frame, how long do you have to enter the trade? 15 minutes. Now, at the 3 candle rule on a 15-minute time frame, if you are not in profit in how many minutes, when do you get out? How many minutes? 45 minutes. If we're on an hour time frame, how long? 3 hours. You have 1 hour to enter. You have 3 hours for profit. If you're on a 4-hour time frame, you have 4 hours to enter, 12 hours for profit. If you're on a daily time frames, you have a full day to enter, 3 days for profit. And that kind of, I already said it, but that leads me to my second big point. Okay, that second big point is enter only on arrow, which means you can only enter on the same candle as the arrow. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, we had 2 examples tonight that worked. We had 2 examples that passed our 4-step check. I want to now talk about how do we set our take profit, how do we set our stop loss, all that sort of stuff. So when we come back here, here's an example. This stuff's easy now. You guys already got through the hard stuff. Does everybody give me some ones if you're like, holy crap, this is good stuff, if it's easy? Okay, so you got through the hard part. The hard part is determining if you should take a trade. The stop loss, take profit, this is cake. Okay, entry, where do you think the entry is, guys? Without going advanced, I know some of the advanced guys are in here, without thinking about the advanced entry, where do you enter the trade? Yeah, the arrow. You sell it here. Good stuff. Okay, now the stop loss literally goes 2 pips above or below those previous 2 candles. So if it's a buy, it's below. If it's a sell, it's above, obviously. It's 2 pips above the height of the wick. So we have the wick right here. We add 2 pips. That's where our stop loss is. That's the stop loss. That's it. Where do we put our target? Can anybody guess where we put our target? Nobody that knows the answer can answer. If you don't know the answer, try to guess. Where do you think we put our target? Take a wild guess. I don't care. Take a wild guess. Yeah, blue line. Because that EMA acts as what's called support. So that's the next time we expect the market to kind of hit a halt. That's where we target. So that's our risk. That's our reward. And that leads me to one big point. Make sure your risk-reward ratio is always a minimum of a 1 to 2. Meaning every pip you risk, you get a 2 pip reward. So if your stop loss in this whole gap here is 15 pips, what's your minimum reward that it has to be to enter the trade? 30. If it's 40, great. If it's 70, great. But that's that example. So let's go try one more. And obviously, if you guys have been through DeLorean, there's some advanced entry techniques that'll give you even better risk reward. We'll do the stop loss right here, so hopefully this answers that question. So where do we enter, guys? This is a buy. Where do you think we enter? I need to draw. Hang on, sorry. Where am I at here? I have a touch screen, so I clicked it and it did something weird. All right, there we go. Good job. You guys answered the question. Right there. Where's our stop? 2 pips below on this example. Okay, remember, it's sells are above, buys are below. That's just the only moving part here. Where's our target? Give me exactly, where's our target? What's the specific target? The gray line. 2 pips above or below, yes, because if the market exceeds that level, it's invalid on any time frame. I don't care if it's a daily, I don't care if it's a 15-minute, 2 pips above or below. Now, keep in mind, people hear the word 2 pips above or below, and they think that our risk is always 2 pips. You're adding the size of this candle to that. So if this candle's 10 pips, how big is our stop loss? Which it's about 10 pips. It's 12. So yeah, our target's here. That's our TP1. Our TP2 is the next EMA. Okay. Anybody having an aha moment here? That's the DeLorean. That's, if you guys have been hearing about it, that's the craze. We're taking people from 0 to 100. That's it. You might think, oh, okay, well, where's the catch? 4 steps. That's what we do every day in our live room. This is it. Now, are there little hinges to this? Yeah, of course. We have an advanced entry method where instead of entering, this is it. Here's your most advanced technique right now. I'm going to teach you. We have an advanced entry technique. Write this down. The advanced entry technique simply means instead of buying right or selling right when you get that arrow, you wait for it because 80% of the time it'll pull back and it'll land somewhere in between this yellow and red line. So our advanced guys, instead of buying right at the arrow, they buy down here, in here. That enables them to have a much better risk to reward, and they're almost instantly in profit every time instead of being in drawdown. And if they do lose the position, because that happens, their pip risk is much less, so it's easier on their account in terms of small accounts especially. Okay, so I have some more to cover here, but I do want to cover some special stuff. I know we're running out of time. I do want to cover some other special stuff. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to have to delete those drawings. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, the advanced entry is totally optional. But if anybody's traded with me live, they know that I only trade off advanced entries. I don't typically just enter off the arrow. I would just rather get in and be instantly in profit rather than maybe incur some drawdown. But there's a catch-22 to it. It doesn't always pull back. So to find the DeLorean, you go under, I'm imagining if you're not part of IM, then this is going to be confusing to you. If you're not part of IM, I think you're crazy. I'll just put it that way. It's the best money you'll ever spend in terms of learning financial literacy as well as learning how to day trade. But when we talk about the strategy side, you go to strategies here, scroll down, it's right here. That's where DeLorean can be found. And so when you click on it, it's all web-based. You're going to notice that this is fairly similar to what you just saw in terms of the lines and the arrows. Okay, so when you click on these, notice what I was saying earlier was that 2 to 10 a.m. window. There's not a lot of trade alerts right now because it doesn't even call alerts any longer if it's not between 2 to 10 a.m. on those lower time frames. So between 2 and 10, we get a ton of alerts. But just from today, it told us to buy New Zealand yen. For instance, right there, you can go through your 4-step check. Here's Euro CAD. Look at it coming back to the aqua. Remember what I said, near the aqua, those are the best situations. Actually, this happened live when I told you guys on the advanced entry. Sold us to sell it right there. Kept going, so on and so forth, okay? And you can scroll through these all you want and start looking at them. and start back testing them and start figuring out, okay, I'm seeing it. I'm starting to see, why does this one not work out? Why did this one work out, et cetera, et cetera. Now, finally, before I finish, I want to also show you guys shadow. This is included in DeLorean. And shadow is very easy. All shadow is imagine if me, Patrick Kenny, or Tyrone Foster, or Abel, were able to just type to you and say, hey, buy this here, put your stops here, so on and so forth. That's what shadow is. So yesterday, Tyrone told people to, at this pink line, sell New Zealand CAD. Look at it. Profit. Okay, that was yesterday. It's 18 pips in profit. I sent out an alert on last week on the 25th of June, buy limit on Euro Pound. It came literally right down to the buy limit and hit it barely, and then smashed the take profit right away, came through it. Okay, so that position was closed. Risk reward was 1 to 2.6. That position was closed at about 100 pip profit. Okay, keep scrolling down. I got one more trade that's currently open. It's on gold. We bought gold on June 5th. I sent this out. You can see right here, notes, buy gold, entry at 1674, stops at 1620, target of 1760, and a target 2 at 1800. We bought gold at that level. We are currently in profit floating 1,076 pips. Shadow is included with the DeLorean. Okay. Do you guys like shadow? And the alerts, luckily for you guys, are sent directly to your phone. You click this little icon up here, and that's Telegram. So you just open Telegram. You can see we've got about 4,500 people following them. It'll buzz your phone when you get an alert for a new trade. Okay. Now the good news is that as you learn, it's hard to learn a new strategy and then be stuck on an island. So we do this thing called live trading, for those of you guys that haven't heard of it, and it's through this Go Live platform. And so you can see this is our schedule right now. So Tyrone is live, and what he does is studies on Sunday nights and Saturday nights, or I'm sorry, Sunday morning and Saturday morning at 8 a.m. or at 11 a.m. Eastern. Studies, teaches, things I'm talking about, back tests. Tuesday through Thursday at 6 a.m. Eastern, he trades with you guys live. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions a week. Then Abel trades with you guys live 2 sessions a week. That's 7 total. And then I trade with you guys another 4 per week. And when we say live trading, it literally means all I'm doing is saying, hey, I'm buying this, I'm selling this. I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing. We win together, we lose together, we break even together. In fact, has anybody in here been in my live rooms? Has anybody by a show of ones made money in my live rooms? So I literally, and I don't shy away. We're aggressive. I'm just gonna be real. We're aggressive as shit in my live room. I mean, we trade every single day. We are very aggressive. I don't shy away from losses because my risk reward is so heavy on most of my trades that I can lose 6 in a row and 1 wins and boom, we're in profit. I'm very aggressive. And so here's the kicker with this. I'm gonna go to Paint real quick. How many sessions did I just show you? How many sessions a week? 12. Right now we have 12 a week. How many a month? 48. 48 sessions per month. Plus the DeLorean algorithm. Plus shadow. Oh, and I forgot to mention that if you go to my favorites, it includes a 5-day boot camp under my favorites, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And if you were to go to Tyrone's, sheesh, that's what's exciting. Look at Tyrone's. Full course. He has it all mapped out, full course. Okay. Can anybody in here that doesn't know, don't answer if you do know. How much do you think all this costs? If you don't know, guess. And he assigns homework. Somebody said $8,000. Somebody said $5,000. Somebody that Make sure if you don't know. 300, it's a good guess. There we go. 235. 22. Now, the trick is I want you to do the math on that. Now, if we're spending $22, first of all, we get 48 sessions. I'm sorry, $22 divided by 48 sessions. That is 46 cents per session. So you're basically paying for the live sessions. You're paying for our time. I don't know. Maybe you guys make more than 46 cents. I can't make any income claims here, but I think a person or two has made a little bit more than 46 cents. 46 cents per session. Oh, and we'll throw in the full algorithm. Oh, and we throw in shadow. Oh, we'll throw in the course. Oh, by the way, we have homework. And what we just did last week is we just unveiled DeLorean 2.0, which it's already up and running. And what DeLorean 2.0 is it gets rid of the 4-step check and it moves it to a 2-step check. You only have to do step 3 and 4. So meaning the red and blue, the red always cuts through both candle bodies. The red, and in terms of the step 1, which one is bigger? It's always bigger, and it always cuts through both candle bodies. You only have step 3 and 4. And guess what else we added? I don't know if you guys saw this, but we added, I don't know if anybody caught that, cryptocurrency, as well as things like indices like US 30. So you can trade it literally 7 days a week. Okay, so let's go back here. Really quick. So guys, truly within minutes, you're already identifying profitable setups. This is all we do to identify them. This is all we do to identify them. So I want you guys to envision yourself, shut your eyes and imagine practicing this for even 1 month. How would that impact your trading? Let me know in the chats. What would that do to your trading if you could practice this for 1 month? A strategy just like that. How would that impact it? Somebody said we're eating. Everybody eats next level. Changed my life. Okay, this formula changed the way that I trade personally. As I said, I'm a student of Tyrone. I've been trading for 6 years now. And, you know, when I say the formula changed the way I trade, it didn't just change the way I trade, guys. I can be honest, it changed my life. And unfortunately, I'm not allowed to give you guys income claims of what I've done now. There's a lot of sort of regulations around enticement, and I can't bring up numbers. But I am so fortunate and grateful with where I'm currently at in my financial situation because of the way that I've learned how to trade. So I'm ready for you guys to have exclusive access. And what you need to realize, this software can only be found through this. It cannot be found online. It's invite only. You got invited by Taylor or whoever. It's invite only. Type the name of the person that invited you to the training in the chat really quick right now. Who invited you tonight to get on this training to learn the DeLorean? Nicole, Eric, Trent, Dom, EP, Tay, Chris, Harry, big money, Eric. Eric, you're big money. Nicole, okay? If you were invited here by one of those individuals, you do have access, just so you know. This is invite only. So I want you to text that person, whoever you just named, text them the 3 words, I want DeLorean. Text them, I want DeLorean. If you're a member of the Academy, they'll show you how to add it. If you're not a member of the Academy, they will show you how to get in the Academy. Okay, text them the 3 words, I want DeLorean. Now, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. So this is not a thing that's like, okay, you're going to get it now. I'll see you in 3 weeks. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Tyrone will see you at 6 a.m. I'll see you at 9 a.m. Abel will see you tomorrow night. In fact, if you got it right now, you could go and join Abel tonight in just the next 2 hours. Texting who invited you is the only way to get access. And if you guys need further help, as I said, Tyrone's trading live with the software at various times. I'm trading live with the software at various times. And Abel is trading live with the software at various times. There's no choice but to win. I'm winning. Okay, so let's win. All right, guys. It's been a really, really, really great webinar. You guys are attentive. You guys pick up stuff fast. Super excited about, you know, your squad, Taylor, and just how fast they got that. I can't believe how fast you guys understood that. But, you know, I think to address the most common question I get on all of these, the most common question I get after I give any given training is, so what's after the 4 steps? And, you know, what's the catch in terms of, okay, it's the 4 steps, but I know it's really not just the 4 steps. And what you'll see if you guys were to trade with us is that all we do is the 4 steps. There's ways to advance your overall understanding of the overall market when you just see a chart with no arrow on it. But the 4 steps is how we use the arrows. So if you're interested in the 4 steps, reach out again to whoever invited you. Taylor, appreciate you having me on tonight. I am in teaching mode tonight, so I have to get on another training literally right now with another team. But appreciate you all so much. I'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. I'll hand it back to her to wrap the call up. Again, appreciate your attentiveness. You guys are great. God bless you guys. I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
All right, thank you so much, Patrick. We appreciate your time and the sauce that you have just given us and all the knowledge. We all know that the more we know you guys, the more our account grows. That's something that we live by here at IM. And like Patrick said, like whoever invited you to this call, if you are not locked in, do not waste any more time. They are going to go live every like he showed you the schedule, you guys. There is plenty of time to get on these go lives and just show up, plug in these trades that they're calling and make some money. Like it's simple as that, you guys. And so make sure you tap in with anybody that you know that's with this company or whoever invited you. Go ahead and get that subscription paid, add on DeLorean or get that elite package and let's make some money, you guys. And like I said, thank you so much for hopping on. Let's get these profits next week. We got NFP next week. So you know what that means, but everybody, y'all be blessed and have a great night. Thank you.